started. This is one of the sort of best traditions we have at City School, ending the 8th grade year with a meaningful tribute that our 8th graders give to their own journey. And to start us off, I'm really excited to welcome up Kiara Anderson.
What do you want to be when you grow up? The question we're constantly asked. The question I've rewritten the answer to about 1,000,000 times. However, as a 14-year-old, I still don't know what I want to be. One moment, I want to be in the FBI. The next, a vet. Then an actress, directing, photography, psychology, part of the SWAT team, a business owner, a lawyer, a scientist, and so much more. These are simply the very few careers I even know about. I'm Kiara Anderson, and I'm just too young to know what I want to be. As someone who's only been alive for 14 years, I've yet to gain knowledge on even the smallest parts of this huge world. While I'm excited for the future, imagining what it will be like is terrifying. When you're someone like me, who's interested and cares about so many things, but also knows what it's like to be a leader and is self-directed, you have many doors open. But while some may see this as a blessing, I can explain the curses. It's like no matter what you want to be, there's always something. It's hard to choose what you want to be when you know nothing about this world. And it seems that no matter what you want to be, there's always someone giving you a reason not to be. I'd have to say the one thing I've always been sure about is the fact that I want to travel. There's something about going all around the world and seeing the new places and all the amazing things that's just astonishing. There's just so many places in the world, so many places to be. I would never want to miss that, because once your life is over, your life is over. And there's no way on earth I'd want to die only knowing a few places. I want to have been all around the world and to have seen all the amazing places and to have done all the craziest things. I want to die having done everything. But you know, I don't really think I can explain how terrified I am. I'm interested in so many different things, all which I honestly think I can do. If I could do it all, I would, but that's just impossible. Impossible, the one word I hate. It's that word that tries to tell you what you are and are not capable of. And while I'd love to say it doesn't faze me, its meaning has grasped a hold on us all once in our times. Impossible. It's the word that tries to hold you back. But as Muhammad Ali once said, impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. Thank you. Next is Jada Biggs.
When I was younger, I used to think about what I wanted to be, not knowing that my dreams were unrealistic for my future and the person I am today. I would play doctor thinking I would be one, braid hair, and think about being a hairdresser, pleading a case to my parents when I was in trouble, thinking I would be a great lawyer. My name is Jada Biggs, and actually thinking about my future, I realized that there are so many options for me. I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to do something I will be passionate about, love, and enjoy. This could be sales or retail, or a job that's not even thought of yet. I think about so many opportunities I could have in my lifetime due to the many strengths of my personality. I also think there will be challenges in my future, including my eyesight and not being able to see as well as everyone else. I clearly will not let that affect me. I don't want a job where I waste my vision and my life on a computer screen, sitting at a desk, but going out and doing something I will enjoy. On a positive note, I think that having a great personality, being a social person, and having a strong voice on certain things will really benefit me in the future. City School has taught me the basics of being a safe, achieving, and caring student. However, Team USA has really helped me and impacted my future. The superheroes have definitely taught me a number of things, some of which include people skills, leadership skills, and social skills, which will be very beneficial in the long run. The superheroes have taught me how to have an opinion and disagree respectfully. They have allowed me and the rest of the students to have a voice on mostly everything for the last 2 years. When I think about my future seriously, the superheroes have encouraged and helped me to strive to my best ability, even though I don't always do so. They have motivated and helped me with things that would be realistic for me and my future. I want to say thank you to my parents, Team USA, City School, and everyone around me for making me the person I am today. Again, thank you. Next is Hannah Cornwell.
Everybody wants to be someone when they grow up, do something with their life, have some sort of plan. What do I want to be when I grow up? Let me tell you. Good afternoon. I am Hannah Corwell, an 8th grader here at City School. Last year I was asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? I put a lot of thought into this question and I came up with a somewhat decent answer. Although, as I grow more mature and become older, I come to realize that there are endless job opportunities for me. When you're asked this question as a teenager, you realize that this question has much more meaning than it did when you were in grade school. When I was asked this question, when I was younger, I came up with answers like rock star, princess, or even I don't want to grow up. Time isn't slowing down. In only 4 years, I will be graduating from high school and moving on to college. These next 4 years will help me decide my future. Of course, this paper isn't life or death, but it will probably help if I have some sort of idea, which I do. I want to be involved in the fine arts. One of my main focuses is directing. This may sound a stretch, but one of my strengths is working hard, and I believe that if I work hard enough, I can get there. Hard work makes most things possible. I have always been interested in how the movies were made, and all the work that goes into it. I knew I never wanted to be an actress. I was always more interested in the people that made everything happen, the behind-the-scene workers. I have also been interested in photography, therefore I have some experience in filming and editing. As far as I know, I want to be accepted into Yale University. It is one of the best fine arts schools in the U.S. I've done some research on what Yale expects from their new applicants, and I'll have to work very hard in order to get there. Growing up can be scary. You may ask yourself the question, am I actually ready? I feel as though I am. City School, and most importantly Team USA, has prepared me for high school. Team USA has taught me how to do things independently. In my time here, I have learned how to deal with conflicts respectfully, how to think outside the box, and how to accept my greatest challenges. I have also picked up a lot of public speaking skills, which will help me as I'm going through high school and college. Team USA has helped me prepare for my future, but I know that my family, friends, and future teachers will help me further my education and help me achieve my life goals. I have a lot to learn in a relatively short time, but I think that I can do it. And believing in yourself is at least half the battle. In a couple of years, when you are sitting in the movie theater watching Star Wars 27 or Rocky 56, look for my name in the credits. It might say, producer and director, Hannah Corwell, that's me. And I don't know if Kayla's here, but I would like to introduce her next. Not here? Okay. Kaylee!
Hello. Tonight you are going to hear your fair share of speeches, all of them probably blurring together and sounding somewhat similar. I've written 3 other PLP speeches for this night, but I couldn't seem to find the words that I wanted to say. It's hard to figure out what you want to say when you're in middle school. Everyone else is trying to find their voice, but they fear that what they say will be judged and ridiculed, even if they are in a safe environment. They just are completely comfortable in their own skin. So they settle and fall into the crowd and are just like everyone else. I'm Haley Savage, and my PLP speech is going to be a little different. It's going to be about the type of person I am now and the type of person I hope that will make me in the future. The main issue I had with writing my speech is I'm not like everyone else, and I didn't want to sound like just another student talking about a job they will most likely forget about in 5 years. I didn't want to sound like a normal student getting up here and talking. This may sound overly confident, but I wanted to have the best speech with the best word choice, and I wanted to be special, because that is what validates me as a person. Being the best is what I always try to do. Some people say, if you aren't the best, then you're the worst. And I have a hard time believing that is true, but what if it is? A few weeks ago, I didn't do my best on a math test, because I didn't study. And then after that, I couldn't figure out the homework we had assigned on the same subject, and I had what was very close to a mental breakdown. This is a part of my personality I do not understand. Why do I feel the need to prove to myself that I can do it? Why can't I just settle for mediocre? This is a major flaw of mine. This is just an 8th grade speech I will forget about giving. So why do I feel the need to stand out? I stress myself out for no reason. But this is also my strength, my ability to push myself and not accept mediocrity. I need to realize that in my everyday life, I'm not always going to be the best every day. And I need to accept my flaws and how they apply to my life now and my future life. My life now is great. I'm a confident, strong, and skilled individual that is able to get up in front of a decently big crowd like this and talk about my flaws and insecurities. City School has built up my confidence and has enhanced my skills. I'm an excellent student, a caring friend, a bubbly individual, and a person that is willing to break myself so I can build myself back up and be overall better. I am very thankful for my time here at City School. Without this school, I would be one of my greatest fears, mediocre. Now about my future, what this speech is actually supposed to be about. I do not know what I want to be, but because of my strengths and abilities, I am confident that I will be successful, be it in marketing, education, medicine, or maybe even in the White House. Someone once told me that if you shoot for the stars, you only succeed at landing on the moon, you will still have achieved something out of this world. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce Destiny Elwood.
Deciding what to be is hard, especially when you're young and you don't know what you want to be. There are many decisions: teacher, writer, cop, ballerina, singer, even the president. I don't want to be any of those. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be ignored either. To be honest, I've been so wrapped up in trying to straighten my life, I haven't given a single thought to extending it. I guess I never really thought I'd make it this far. I always thought I'd fail at what I used to be good at. I thought that every bully who sent me out of school for 10 days at a time would win, and then I wouldn't be able to be anything. I don't want to do a regular thing because I'm not regular in many ways. I don't even know what regular is, and neither do you. We all have different understandings of the terms normal and regular. Some kid might think playing Dungeons and Dragons is normal, whereas the football guy thinks playing football is normal. I don't think anything I do is normal. I don't want to fake being something to get in with the right crowd. The few people who talk to me all want to be surgeons, singers, or police people. I used to want to be an FBI agent, and then I gave up on that because I felt like I didn't have what it took to be one. I used to want to be a nurse that delivered babies and did surgery. And then I learned where babies came from, and I watched Code Black, and I lost that interest. Those were childish dream jobs. Now, I don't know what I want to be. I act on impulse a lot of the time. If someone makes me mad, most of the time, I say what's on my mind. Sometimes that's not always good. Like when I lose at a game I'm really good at, I start swearing. One time a teacher was right there when I dropped the F-bomb. She just gave me a look and told me to stop talking. Someone once told me that I could be the next greatest person or whatever, but he also told me that I could all be taken away with one simple gesture or movement. I mean, I don't want to be famous, like I said, but I also don't want to be looked upon as something that happened to me because of what I did. These people I thought I knew seemed like they were good people. They were married and had 2 children and adopted 2 more. One was a daycare provider and the other picked up milk. They seemed like 2 normal people. Those people ended up making a mistake and lost their child when she was 12. I can't look at them the same way. That proves to me what one mistake can do to me. I used to want to be someone who saved children from abusive lives. Not just 1 or 2 children, but all of them. This girl I knew told me that no matter how many lives I saved, there would always be more. That crushed me. Even though I couldn't save victims, I helped. I talked to girls who experienced abuse, drugs, rape, and weed. We talked about how they thought that they would never be able to lead a normal life. There's that word again, normal. Funny enough, I saw the girls whose parents abandoned her, the adopted child of the parents I thought I knew. She doesn't know what she wanted to do either. But I'm not here to talk about her past. I'm here to talk about why I can't decide on what to do when I grow up, what path I want to take. My grandmother's mother told her that you can't expect anyone to understand your journey, especially if they've never walked your journey. If I could, about 3 years ago, I would take out my non-existent magic wand, wave it around, and create a perfect normal life. I would have a normal job. But since I've grown up a little, I now know the definitions of normal are varied and different, and there really is no difference. 3 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference between me and the person people thought it was. Before writing this, I couldn't think about my life. I didn't know how long I had until I snapped. After writing this, I've realized I've already built my life. I will not be fake. I do not need to spend my morning from the mirror trying to transform my face into something that is beautiful. I will not give in to those who think they can break me. I certainly will not live a normal life. An arrow can only be shot by pulling it backwards. So when you feel like life is pulling you back, it means it's about to launch you into something great. I'm an arrow being pulled back. A lot of people around me are already letting the string release them, but I stay back, waiting for the right moment. My name is Destiny Elwood, and I have absolutely no idea of what I want to do. Thank you. Up next is Robert Namash.
Alright. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to do what you love. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. As Steve Jobs said, work is going to fill a huge part of each and every one of our lives. If I have to wake up each and every day and go to a job, it is going to be one I enjoy. So what jobs might I enjoy? Maybe a professional football player, but I would need to get 2 feet taller and gain 200 pounds. So maybe not. How about Mayor of St. Albans? Anyone can do that, right? But the current mayor has already done everything that needs to be done, so that might be boring for the next 50 years or so. No, after much serious thought, at this point in my life, I believe that I will be happy and satisfied with myself if I become a physical therapist. I want to become a physical therapist because I see people in pain, and it hurts me also. I want to help people feel better so they can do the job they love as much as I will love my future occupation. Physical therapy helps people recover and get on with their lives. PT teaches people to take care of themselves. I want to help people. If I wanted to become a physical therapist, I would have to major in biology and anatomy. After, I would undergo special training in physical therapy at graduate level, and according to new regulations, I would have to enter a doctorate program in physical therapy, which would take another 3 years. After all that work and effort, I would need to get a license and look to begin my work. Study school has helped me with a lot, becoming a more skilled individual. I would like to thank all my teachers that have put up with me and helped me through the years. I have learned a lot from the school, from learning what multiplication was to learning how to get up in front of this group of parents and students. I believe my future, I have learned that effort is related to success, that maturity is not always being serious, but knowing when to work and when it is okay to be silly. I also learned that food stored in the locker for 7 months produces a bad odor. I learned that life is what you make it. I am 14 years old, so I am undecided about a lot of my future, but I am very excited for what my future holds. A high school career playing on the BFA football and baseball teams, a college career where I will be able to prepare myself for what the real world has in store for me, a life after school where I continue learning and bettering myself because I'm an ambitious person. Looking even further into the future, I envision a happy retirement where I can sit back and reflect on the successful moments in my life with my wife, kids, and grandchildren. I can honestly admit that this is my best guess. I know that success is based on 2 factors, skills and effort. I am confident that I have the skills, and I know that I can produce the effort. I believe that I will succeed. Thank you. And next up, we have Sullivan Hayes.
It is 3 in the morning. You hear water dripping from your living room. You enter the room and realize that your ceiling is soaked from a broken water pipe. Your electrical lights are shorting out, and your ceiling is about to cave in. Wow, you have a big problem. What do? Do you call a toll-free number that is connected to a technician in another country who gives you canned statements and promises to fix your problem? Do you get on a Google chat line from a guy from out of state or even country who promises to serve you well? No, call the local plumber, electrician, and carpenter. They come and see your problem and fix it. Hi, my name is Sullivan Hayes, and that is my goal. I want to be one of the guys you call when in need. I would like to go to a vocational school instead of a traditional college to get experience in my job. I could also back into the job by working as an apprentice to an established tradesperson who already has a business. There are many reasons why trade school would be better for me. First of all, going to a vocational school can be up to 4 times cheaper than getting a bachelor's degree from a college. Another reason vocational school would be better for me is I can really focus on what I love and want to do. Where at a college, you have to take other classes that may not even be connected to what your major is. I've been at this school for the last 9 years of my life. In these 9 years, I've made some great friends with students and teachers. City School has really prepared me for high school next year. I've learned real-life skills that other kids don't have the opportunity to learn. Some of these skills include public speaking, people skills, and conflict resolution. If I do end up working in this field, people skills will definitely help me a lot because I'll be working and interacting with coworkers and customers every day. At BFA, the kids from the school stand out because of the skills we learned, especially in Team USA. I like problem solving and seeing results. If a pipe is leaking, I can tell I fixed it if it doesn't leak anymore, and I don't have to worry about it. In the medical field, you never really know if you fix an issue. A lot of medical problems you have recur, and that typically wouldn't happen from quality work from a plumber, electrician, or carpenter. The field of trades can never be outsourced like a lot of jobs are today. In this day and age, with most things, if you have a problem, you can call someone overseas to help fix that problem. On every appliance or electronic device, there's a toll-free number you can call if you have an issue with that product. With plumbing, electrical, or carpentry, this will never be true. A professional needs to go and see what that problem is and how to fix it. Someone from overseas can't teach you that. People always need plumbers, electricians, and carpenters. They may be involved in building a new house, redesigning an older one, or bringing a new group of houses up to a safety code. People in the trades have a good lifestyle. They work hard and can sleep sound knowing that the job that they do is important, necessary, and can always be done locally forever. It doesn't get better than that. So, if your pipes are leaking, the lights are shorting out, your ceiling is caving in, look for me under Sully's Trades, always done right the first time. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Jasmine.
"5 months, 21 weeks, 147 days. Can I do it? Can I complete the training for the FBI? 16 years, 192 months, 834 weeks, 5,838 days. Can I do it? Can I become a surgeon? 8 years, 96 months, 418 weeks, 2,926 days. That's what it takes. But can I do it? Can I be a part of the Special Victims Unit? This is a question we all ask ourselves. Last year, I was asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? I didn't have a serious answer. I just shook it off and said, I don't know. I was asked again this year, but here's the catch. I had to write a speech. I nearly died. Me, write a speech and talk in front of people. No, you're funny. Their response, it's required, and you're going to have to do it. All I said was, nope, not me. But me being a save everything for the last minute type of person, I literally wrote my speech last week. As you heard, I want to pursue a number of different occupations. They all seem so interesting to me. Every career option catches my eye, and it makes it so hard to choose just one. Some of you might think, why not become an actress? Then you can do it all. But the thing is, I don't have the time or money to spend on plane tickets to New York or to LA, or for auditions, or whatever it is they do. I've always been interested in the actors, though. They always seem so fascinating. I think it's funny they can say all these things and look like they truly deeply mean it, but not mean a single word. I'm not fully interested in just one career. I've recently gained interest in a new show called Quantico. It's about a diverse group of recruits training for the FBI and then later putting their knowledge into finding the suspect of masterminding the biggest attack on New York City since 9/11. For those who don't know what and where Quantico is, it's the FBI training academy located in Quantico, Virginia. I was once told to always shoot for the moon. Well, I'm shooting for Quantico. Those 21 weeks aren't just it, though. I need my bachelor's degree in law enforcement and criminal justice before actually heading into Quantico. There are many things I can do within the FBI once I get there. Two of the main things right now that seem super interesting are being a special agent in criminal investigations and being a special agent a part of the HRT. The HRT is the hostage rescue team. But who knows? Once I actually hit Quantico, my interests might change. In the last 5 years, City School has helped me in so many ways. But most of all, I remembered the teamwork that is needed to accomplish a number of things. It's better to walk together in the dark than to walk alone in the light. This quote is by someone with a far better imagination than mine, but I like it, and it's a keeper. I'll remember the leadership and public speaking skills I have learned here in Team USA. I am and forever will be grateful I was part of this outstanding team. Stars and stripes are forever, you know. With being in the FBI, I'll need these valuable skills to pursue this dream. No, it's not a dream. It's a plan. I'll need to know when to be a leader, a follower, and when to get out of the way. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for City School. But most of all, I wouldn't be up here, standing in front of you, if it wasn't for Team USA. It'll take some time, but I'll get there. I hope to see you all at the finish line. And who'll be left? I can't wait to find out. Now, there's only one question left. Can I do it? Well, soon enough, I'll have a badge that says Special Agent Jasmine Irizarry, and I'll answer that question as well as fulfilling my moonshot. Thank you. Up next, I'd like to introduce Hannah Tatro.
I love to make things. I'm a typical left-handed, creative, artistic, and visionary person. I could create a variety of things. Do I want to create prosthetics? Do I want to create the next technological advance? No. I want to create something you will enjoy, something that will make your life sweeter. I want to become a confectioner, better known a baker. I'm Hannah Tatro. Baked goods. Everyone loves baked goods. A sweet treat could be cookies, cupcakes, puff pastries, Danish, or any other sweet creations. Ever since I was little, I would help my grandmother in the kitchen with baked goods for her neighbors. We would make bread, cakes, and muffins. One day, my whole family came together and we baked the day away. I called it our Big Bake Day. That was where I got my inspiration for my future career. I want to wake up every morning and go to work where I'm proud to say, I made that, and see smiles on everyone's faces. I feel that baking as a career fits me well because I have to get up early in the morning with a smile on my face saying I made it. Overall, I made it where I want to be in life and I earned it. In order to become a baker, I don't necessarily need a college degree, but it's good to have one. At least I will gain some experience in high school. In high school, I want to take a baker's apprentice culinary course so I can learn some of the basics. St. Albans City School has helped me with my math skills and reading. I focus on these core skills because I feel they will help me most in a bakery. I can apply the math skills to my recipe measurements and conversions in dealing with pricing and other money matters. Reading is helpful in any profession. City School has helped me with my people skills. I've learned over the years that everyone is different and people like a variety of things. This will help me as a baker. I'll use these skills to communicate with my customers and determine what their likes and interests are so I can fulfill their sweet tooth needs. I will ensure a better business for me because the more I satisfy my customers, the more they'll come back. Finally, City School has helped me take a look at my life and realize things about myself I'm interested in. It has encouraged me to set goals and to achieve those goals. To end my speech today, I would like to thank City School for helping me consider my career and pushing my education further to realize what it is I want to do and where it is I want to go when I'm older. It is great to have something sweet and fun to look forward to in life. Thank you. Up next is Bailey.
When I was 4 years old, I was asleep in my bed. Suddenly, I was awoken by my older sister's yells. In a very short time, we were on our way to the hospital while my sister continued screaming in the front seat. I didn't know why she was so upset at the time because I thought it was a very happy moment. My sister was going to have a baby. My mom dropped me off at my grandmother's and I stayed there for a night until the next morning, when I went to the hospital to see my new baby niece. There was a complication with the birth, but a nurse helped her. A nurse helped my sister while she was giving birth because she couldn't do it on her own. When my niece was 4 years old, she went into full seizure because of the complications with the birth. All I wanted to do was help, but I was too young. She had hundreds of tests done on her body, and when I went to visit her, she had a bunch of machines hooked up to her body. I always helped take care of my niece, and I automatically fell in love with babies. With everything that has happened, today she is a happy, healthy 9-year-old. Her name is Peyton, and despite the arguments, I still love her. People are always asking what you want to be when you grow up, and I am confident that I know what it is. Hi, I'm Bailey Martin. I want to be a labor and delivery nurse. A labor and delivery nurse is a licensed nurse that helps the miracle of bringing a human being into the world. I have always loved babies and caring for them. I think that being an L&D nurse would be a great fit for me. How am I going to become a labor and delivery nurse? Well, among other things, I'm going to keep working on my public speaking skills. I'll need to earn a bachelor's degree and also take human biology, anatomy and physiology, chemistry, physics, and math. I'll get through the classes with the help of my teachers, parents, and friends. When I graduate from high school, I'm going to go to college with no hesitation, so that way, after 4 years of college, I'll still be young when I graduate. My mom and dad always said if I keep dancing, there's a chance that I could get a scholarship from dance. If I get a scholarship from dance, then I would either go to Duke University Health System, Florida State University College of Medicine, or the University of Vermont. When I get into college, I want to study to be an L&D nurse for 4 years. When I get out of college, I will pursue nursing training, become a licensed RN, gain work experience in labor and delivery, and obtain my certification. Once I have been a nurse for a few years and have enough money to buy my own house, I will eventually get married and have a family of my own, and help guide them to the things that they want to be when they're older. What really inspired me of falling in the nursing job was my sister. She had a child at 15, took care of her baby, never dropped out of school, graduated, and became a licensed nursing assistant. Her first job as an LNA was at Holiday House. It was a good fit for her and she loved working there. When she was there for a couple of years, she got moved to a building that paid more. Working there, she got a lot of money and soon enough bought her first apartment with the money she earned working as an LNA. Another experience that reinforced my confidence that I could be a nurse was Team USA. Team USA teaches us how to do things and how to live on our own when we are older. How to talk to people, how to deal with big conflicts in a respectful way, and how to accept things. I am hoping my teachers, family, and friends will help guide me along the road of being a labor and delivery nurse. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Derek.
Have you ever been moonstruck with the way that some structures were built? Something that takes you back and admires the work that had happened on that particular structure. It could be anything like desks, tables, cabinets, just something that admires the work and time that went into that project. Hello, my name is Derek Nadu and I want to be a carpenter when I grow up. I have a couple reasons why I want to be a carpenter. One being that my whole life, ever since I was 3 years old, building houses with Lincoln logs, that I love building. Another being the satisfaction of building something on my own and being able to accomplish something that took a lot of time to create. Carpenters routinely face unexpected problems or issues while building and being able to think through these problems. All the projects that carpenters do is different, and sometimes the carpenters have to adjust plans to be able to get the project done on time. So being able to think on the spot is critical to a carpenter. Carpenters also need to be able to be focused on all the details. An error of even 1 inch can make a humongous difference in the whole construction. You can't afford messing up while measuring and cutting. Paying attention to those fine details of a project is what sets apart the amazing carpenters from those who are just trying to get the project done on time. I think that I have both of these skills, which can propel me into the carpentry industry. Carpenters need basic math skills like algebra, geometry, and calculus to measure materials, add up volumes, and complete other project planning tasks. Knowing math also helps carpenters to be able to study blueprints, to understand a project's layout, and to figure out the dimensions for the supplies. Carpenters also need to be creative. Creativity helps in the carpentry field because you need to be able to think around small and large problems creatively and not just to be able to make the project strong and sturdy, but to also be able to look beautiful. Carpenters also obviously have a lot of building, repairing, and maintenance skills, but hopefully I can be able to pick these skills up on the way in high school and college. To become a carpenter, you need to enroll in carpentry courses. You'll need a high school diploma or GED. From there, you can become a carpenter's helper. Working with an older, experienced carpenter allows you to learn the carpenter's profession on the job, while you obtain and improve your skills with the tools of your trade. Then you can become a carpenter's apprentice. Apprenticeships usually take 3 to 4 years to complete. This is a good path to take to become a carpenter. Being admitted to an employer's carpentry apprenticeship program is a huge step forward. As an apprentice, you'll be educated in rough framing, drywall, stair construction, metal framing, and interior finish work. I've obtained many strengths from this school that may help me in the future to become a carpenter. Here at City School, I was in algebra class, which really helped me get a better understanding in algebra and geometry, which, like I said before, was one of the most important things. Was one of the most important things to know as a carpenter. I learned to become more creative and artistic while in art class, which can help me a lot later on in life and in my carpentry career. I've learned how to work together in large and smaller groups. This will help later on in life and in the carpentry field, because to be able to become a good carpenter, I can become a carpenter's apprentice. So being able to work in a group with other people can help me a lot while training to become a carpenter. So I don't know what will happen to me when I'm older, or if I even want to be a carpenter anymore. But I do know that building things with my own two hands is always going to be something that I love, and I hope that I can keep building and creating things on my own. I'd like to thank City School for helping me by giving me the tools to pursue my dream job. Next, I'd like to welcome Forrest Delory.
Well, folks, we've made it. The end of 8th grade. For some of us, this is 9 years coming to a close at City School, and I can honestly say I have enjoyed every moment. So it will be a little emotional, reminiscing on all the great, good, and sometimes even challenging times that I have had throughout these tremendous years. In all the time that I've been here, I feel I have grown both physically and emotionally. Part of that growth includes contemplating what I might want to be when being a kid is no longer my job description. It started off with being a scuba diver, an astronaut, and a superhero. Pretty realistic, right? Well, in 9 years, I've learned that the career that I really want to pursue in my future is being a professional baritone sax player. As a side note, I also realized that my 3 earliest choices are also realistic, with the exception of a superhero, which I could not find any colleges for. Moving on, in the short 14 years that I have been alive, and even fewer that I have been aware, I have learned how important the ideal of music can truly be. The entirety of music is astounding because it has the power to affect how the rest of your day could go, or how it could even give you that little bit of motivation to push yourself past your limit. I was only 9 or 10 years old before I learned how to manipulate a variety of instruments. My connection at time with music was more about what I did to a song and not what a song did to me. When I started playing the instruments, well, my world expanded exponentially. However, none of this would have been obvious to me if I hadn't started playing in the 4th grade, and I can only thank City School for the opportunity to learn how to play music with one of the best band teachers I will ever have had the chance to play with. I also have to thank my parents and family members for the support that they have given me to continue pursuing my dream and pushing me to follow it even when I think that I didn't want to. Altogether, however, they are helping me push forward to my dream college, and nothing I could do could ever thank them enough. What else have I learned in the last 9 years at City School? Actually, I have had many experiences. I've had the honor of speaking at our community's greatest event, our Veterans Day celebration in Teller Park. I have been honored to serve as president of Team USA. I have worked with many talented fellow students on a variety of East Cyber Mission projects. I've experienced the rigors of advanced placement classes in math and LI. All in all, my mind and body have been filled with many enriching experiences, but I must admit that only music has truly touched my heart. With my world redefined in a sense, I immediately felt this responsibility to always respect music in all forms. Even though I may not like every type of music that I come across, I will always give credit to those playing the music for connecting to something bigger than themselves. Every day, I find, more often than not, that our daily lives are following the beat of life itself. It's easier to see this occurrence if you were to sit down for a moment and just listen to the noise around you. The steady pace of the feet people passing by. The delicate birds chirping their songs in the early morning, and just the pure and simple sound of the calming wind. It all follows this beat of this musical called life, and reassures the point that without music, life would indefinitely be pointless. I'm going to be honest and admit that I am excited to move on to high school at BFA. I feel confident that there will be many new opportunities and friends that will certainly be heading my way. Even in this time period of my music career that I have, I will always, and I truly mean always, be captivated by music. I will always follow the rhythm of life. I'm forced to lure, and music will be my life. Up next, I'd like to introduce Andrew Sterling.
What is it you want to be when you get older? Is this really a good question to ask a young kid? Does any kid really know? If every child became what they wanted to be, the world would be full of doctors, firemen, and superheroes. Luckily, as we grow older, these ideas start to fade away and we begin to realize what we are really interested in. After 13 years of living, I have acquired a number of skills, and I have realized a few important likes and dislikes. I know, for example, that I do not want to be a dancer, a baker, a country western singer, or a teacher. Yet I have learned that I like to do hands-on projects and I enjoy solving problems. So the challenge for me over the next 4 years or so is to find a job in no special order that will make me happy. So really, is there such a job? I think so. I am most interested in being an engineer. There are many types of engineers, including chemical, mechanical, structural, just to name a few. I think they all fit my criteria. I could also be a scientist. I could work in any area of science, from environmental to product testing, to inventing things, to, of course, technology. So there are many options. My job now is to put myself in a position where I can move into any of these areas when the idea hits me. I understand that I need good academic skills, and I will work on those at BFA. I have a good head start on things like math, how to make a presentation, and many other things in and outside of school. I have gained many strengths along with challenges from the school. Some of my strengths include problem-solving skills and algebra. Some challenges I still have are some basic math skills like multiplying and dividing decimals and public speaking. This school has helped me practice on these skills and gain other ones. USA has helped me especially to work on my public speaking skills, and the corporation activity has prepared me for working lifestyles and idea-making scenarios. I don't know what to do or what to study, but I'm ready for the future and hope to find a job that will fit me well. I would like to work in an engineering environment or one where I could travel the world. My name's Andrew Sterling, and I have a foggy outline of my future and luckily plenty of time to decide. Thank you. I would now like to welcome up Isabel Sweeney.
A long time ago, I was asked what I wanted to be when I get older. I think I answered, I don't know. Personally, I think it is kind of a crazy question. Really, could I have the adults raise their hand if they are currently working at a career that they had chosen when they were in the 8th grade? In fact, how many of you are working at jobs that did not even exist when you were in the 8th grade? So now you realize the difficulty of the task presented to us. But let me begin. For me, the magic bird of information visited me with the egg of future knowledge at an unusually young age. In fact, I was in 2nd grade. My dad had a heart attack. Since that time, I have always vowed one day I am going to be a cardiologist so I can take care of people with heart issues, because each one of them is important to someone. I know now because of that experience that I definitely want to be a cardiologist. So what makes me think that I could be a cardiologist? Well, let's see what it takes to become a cardiologist and then determine if my dream is possible. My journey to become a cardiologist will start next year. In high school, I will have to take multiple AP courses. Once I finish in the upper 10% in my class, I will apply to a good college for my pre-med education. I am thinking of getting a BS at UMass Lowell. The reason I plan on going to UMass Lowell is so that I can be close to family while attending school. When all is said and done, it will take about 13 years of training after high school. This will involve years of book learning and on-the-job training as a resident in an area of heart specialty. Luckily, I like school and I enjoy the challenges of learning. So, what skill set do I have that makes me believe that I can succeed and persevere down the long, challenging road of becoming a cardiologist? The most common trait of highly successful people is determination, organization, and perseverance. I believe I have those traits. While I can boast that I've always had some of these traits, I must admit they were fine-tuned and sharpened in my later years at City School. It was in Team USA that I was allowed to use my organizational skills in the real-world setting. If you experienced our last Veterans Day in St. Albans, you would be impressed that I was one of the main organizers of this event. I learned how to meet with adults, better my note-taking skills, make contacts, and to stay focused on the goal. I consider myself a good problem solver as well. But more than anything, I feel that I have the skills and passion to see this challenge to the end. For personal reasons, I want to save lives in the arena of cardiology. Although the task will be difficult, I am confident I can do it. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Dr. Izzy Sweeney, cardiologist.
No introduction? Okay. Everybody has an inspiration. Inspiration is what drives people to be what they want to be. To get up in the morning, start the day, and tackle the many challenges the world presents to us. Where a person gets that inspiration is based not on who we are, but where we go, the people we meet, the knowledge we assemble, and the new, exciting things we discover along the way. But to discover something, you must have your eyes and mind wide open. At that point, you may find yourself stumbling upon an idea in the most unlikely situation. I have long been a fan of the television show Criminal Minds. The series is based on a team of agents in the Behavior Analysis Unit of the FBI. What piqued my interest in the show was the team's ability to solve the case by using their vast amount of knowledge of human psychology to profile the perpetrator. I thought it would be amazing if I could one day be in their position, profiling people and solving crimes, but I never really thought that much about what it would take to get there. Then I came across a new show called Quantico. This show gave me a glimpse of what inside the FBI Academy actually looks like. This spiked my interest even more, so I decided to do a bit of research about what it actually takes to be in the FBI. Watching more of the show and doing extensive research, I realized that I can do it. And that was my inspiration to become a special agent of the FBI. Now I know exactly what I want to be and exactly how I'm going to get there. Now clearly there are other reasons besides inspiration from a television show that I want to work for the FBI. Being on Team USA for the past 2 years has made me want to do something when I grow up that will benefit not only myself, but the world as well. As an agent, depending on what department of the FBI I work for, I'll be helping people every day, fulfilling my passion and living my dream. Another big part of my desire to become an agent is simply that, but to a much higher degree. I want to be an agent, and I'm not going to stop working until I get there. There are two main questions I ask myself when thinking about becoming an agent. Do I want it, and will I chase it? The answer to both is yes. This leads me to several other questions. Am I even able to become an agent? What does the job require? So I made a list of my personal strengths and challenges. For my strengths relating to my desired career choice are as follows. In my opinion, I'm a pretty quick thinker. I'm pretty good at solving problems, and I'm great at cooperating with fellow classmates. And my communication skills are more than adequate. As for physical strengths, I'm in shape, but as every rose has its thorn, I'm not perfect, and I have quite a few challenges. To get into the FBI, a person needs to be a really quick thinker. It needs to be really good at problem solving, and very fit, and so on. Many of the skills I've collected throughout my life I've acquired here. I'm currently drawing to a close my 10th year attending St. Albans City School. From preschool to 6th grade, my classmates and I learned only the most basic math, writing, and history skills that every other student in the country acquired simultaneously. The past 2 years were spent on Team USA, where I, along with my fellow classmates, learned more than what we need to succeed. In the 2 years that we've been here on Team USA, we've successfully obtained many of the skills that we, as a generation, need to thrive. As most people do, I have a plan to get from point A to point B. Throughout high school, I plan on continuing taking Spanish, and I also want to take classes like sociology, psychology, and maybe even forensics. After high school, I hope to be accepted into University of Pennsylvania, a private Ivy League school in Philadelphia. This school is pretty far away from Vermont, I know. The reason I'm applying to this school is because it's the only undergraduate school in the country that offers a degree in criminal justice. At the moment, I'm dreaming pretty big, and I know it. But in the past several months, I've had this inspiration. I turned that inspiration into a passion and a desire. As I explored the possibility a bit more, I discovered that I have the drive, the determination to make my big dream a reality. When I visit my parents after 4 years in college and 5 months in the FBI training academy, I'll have a huge smile on my face. When they open the door and invite me in, I'll tell them my exciting story about life inside the academy, and I'll proudly state my newly earned title, Special Agent Kaylee Sweeney. Thank you. So that just about wraps it up for tonight. We'd like to thank everybody for showing up and listening to your student's speech. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Isabel Zemianic, and we would like to thank you all for coming to our 8th grade PLP night. The baseball players will be a little late, so they're going to come a little later, so don't mind them if they do end up coming in. And first we have Mioka Benjamin.
When I was little, I always thought that I wanted to be a musician. As I got older, I realized that it would be extremely difficult to make it into the music industry. So I decided that I would like to be an architect so I could use my creativity. This year, I realized that I wanted to do something that would help other people, especially children. So I've decided that I would like to be an endocrinologist. I'm Mioka Benjamin, an 8th grader in Team USA. For those of you who do not know what endocrinology is, it is a branch of medicine that is related to hormones and endocrine glands. The main reason I would like to study endocrinology is because I want to help children who have to deal with hormonal diseases. Another reason I would like to be an endocrinologist is that I have personally dealt with a hormonal disease, known as type 1 diabetes. I want to help children be comfortable with a disease they may have grown up with or have recently gotten diagnosed with. I know that it is hard for a young child to have to learn about how they would need to take care of themselves, but in a different way than other children, so they can continue being healthy. I've been looking for colleges that study endocrinology. The colleges I would be interested in is Johns Hopkins School of Medicine in Baltimore, Maryland, with an acceptance rate of 1.8%, and UMass in Worcester, Massachusetts, with an acceptance rate of 10.7%. I prefer to apply for these colleges because they are closer to Vermont, and I would like to be close enough to visit my family once in a while. I've also been thinking about moving to Japan for a job instead of working here in the U.S. It would be nice to work there so I can see my other family more often. I could live a great lifestyle in Japan because the weather is always nice and there are always fun things to see down there. If I do decide to work there, I would have to study more in the language so I have more of an understanding of it. Then I would go to a college in the U.S. because it would be easier for me to understand what I need to learn to get a degree in endocrinology. The courses needed to be an endocrinologist are biology, chemistry, and medicine. The main skills required would be problem solving, communication and leadership, organization, empathy, and having attention to detail. I would need to get a bachelor's degree in an MD or DO. MD stands for Doctor of Medicine and DO stands for Doctor of Osteopathy. The experience needed is 3 years of residency training, plus an additional 2 to 3 years of fellowship training. There are about 41 different types of endocrine disorders, so I'd have to learn about all of them. As I mentioned previously, I've always thought that I would grow up to be a musician, specifically a singer. I had a very strong passion for singing, and I still do, but I realized that I didn't want to make a living from that. I've also always wanted to be a Major League Baseball player, but I knew that wasn't very realistic. Last year in 7th grade, we were asked to start thinking of what careers we would possibly want to have. I've done a lot of thinking about what I would want to be until I settled as an architectural designer. I thought that this job would be perfect for me because I could use my creativity to design something truly wonderful. It wasn't until this year I realized that I actually wanted to be a doctor and study endocrinology. City schools helped me in many ways, specifically Team USA, with reaching my goals and meeting the skills I need for my future career. I've learned a lot of how I can socialize and communicate to others well. And since the school has provided laptops and tablets, I've learned a lot about how to use them. Because of Team USA, I've learned how to do a good job at public speaking, which is going to be very useful when I go out to get a job. I'm not fully prepared for what is ahead of me quite yet, but I feel like I'm prepared enough to get my future started, thanks to City School. I would like to thank my teachers for helping me strive for my goals. I would also like to give special thanks to my family and friends. My parents especially have helped me get through my tough times of being diabetic, and they made me realize that I want to be like them, an inspiration. I would also like to thank my sister for always looking out for me and being supportive of whatever I do. My friends also deserve a thanks for reminding me of who I am and what I want to do to be useful in the future. Overall, I know what I want to do when I'm older. As I get older, I may think of more jobs that I would like to do, considering I've already changed my mind so many times before. As of now, I'll continue to focus on my schoolwork and prepare for the future. I want to do something that will not only benefit myself, but others too. I know I want to make a huge difference in other people's lives. I'm Yuka Benjamin, and so far, I'm going to be an endocrinologist. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Jordan Lakedo Jackson.
Hello everyone, my name is Jordan, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do when I grow up. I can be a YouTuber. This is a person who puts content on YouTube and gets paid for it. Where does the money come from, you ask? From the advertisers on your page. You can get $1 for every 25 people who watch an ad for at least 30 seconds. So what am I right about? We'll get to that in a minute. The other thing I can do when I'm not YouTubing would be a baker. I can sell my creations and eat my failures. As a baker, I can work at a bake shop, or even at one of the large supermarkets that offer baked goods. Another option is to be a tech person. As a tech person, I could help fix tablets for a cheap price. So what I would do is I would sit out on the sidewalk and wait for people to pass by looking for someone to fix their tablet. I have experience with repair. I tried to fix my brother's tablet after smashing it. What I did was, I took my tablet apart, took my screen off, and put it on James' tablet. It looked brand new. Unfortunately, it did not work. This makes me think that I might need some training in this area. Another area that might interest me is under the title of conspiracy theories. I could be a writer who investigates conspiracy theories. There are many of them out there, from who killed President Kennedy, to who bombed the World Trade Center, to did Bill Clinton urge Donald Trump to run for president. But I'm more interested in a theory involving a secret moon base, a dangerous mind-controlling facility, and an unpentium theory. What am I going to be for this theory? I'm joining the military because if I'm going to go to the moon, I'll need a way to defend myself. So I'll try to reopen NASA so I can go to the base. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to solve the theory, the mystery of element 115 and Project MK Ultra. Honestly, this is just a theory that is unsolved. I'll try to solve it. That is my dream. First thing I'm going to do is go to Japan or Russia. But I need more for that accomplishment. I need a travel visa if I want to go to Japan or Russia. If I don't find anything in that specific country, I'll go to the next. This life may involve a lot of traveling, but this should be solved. It would probably do something to the world to finally stop abducting people at night for their experiments. This is going to be my life when I grow up. But when I solve it, it will be known. I'm only risking this for the sake of innocent people. I just need to help them by doing this. Of all the things I can be, going to the military, solving this theory is what I need to do. Thank you. Now I'm going to introduce Michaela Brooks.
I've been rewriting this speech over and over to the point where it's been more times than I can count on both hands. Now I stand in front of you with the final product, and I'm still not sure. The only thing I can honestly say right now is that I'm afraid. Hi, my name is Michaela Brooks, and when I was in 4th grade, old enough to understand how this school was going to impact me, I made a promise to myself, a goal, to stay in this school and take all the skills the students and teachers were able to give. I've been going to the school for 9 years now, and although my time here at City School has come to an end, I am excited to start the next chapter of my life at BFA. I've known about me having to present this speech since the end of my 6th grade year. Since then, I have put a lot of time and energy into trying to explore for something that I'm genuinely interested in. So the real question is, what do I want to do when I'm older? And now that I'm getting older, I should begin to start finalizing some things. Yet, truth be told, I have no idea. I don't know if I'll have a job in 2 to 4 years, or if I'll be going to college right off, or if I'll even get accepted into one. Since I'm supposed to be talking to you all about my future, let me tell you some things about my life. I'm 14 years old. I was born in Burlington, Vermont at Fletcher Island. I live with my mother, my brother, and my sister here in St. Albans. I have many animals, and I love doing things with my family. I have many skills. I have the ability to relate with others. I have strong communication skills, active listening skills, and I know how and when to show empathy. I have a genuine interest in others, good judgment skills, and the ability to negotiate and persuade. I know how to operate a computer, do CPR, cook, basic things, and I'm not just talking about mac and cheese that comes from a box. I know how to manage my time and make a simple budget. I know how to paint, take notes, type, and make good first impressions. These are just some simple skills that most people at my age should have or after my age. Letting my imagination run wild is also something that I'm very good at, which is why some of the things I've considered as a career are a little out of the ordinary for me, because some of them I don't have patience or the stomach to do. I've considered things like orthopedic surgeon, physical therapist, pediatrician, or a nurse. I've also considered photography, graphic design, and I've considered joining the military, working with animals, being a 911 dispatcher, EMT, and a social worker. Sitting in City School has taught me many things, from reading and writing to playing the flute and clarinet, but specific things like how to interact with others, and a very unique organizational skill. They taught me how to make lasting friends and how to critically think. But Team USA has taught me more things that I will remember forever. The skills they've taught me are a basic handshake to speaking to my whole class and more. They helped me with a big part of my teamwork skills and how to make a lasting impact. My plan for the future is going to CCV for 2 years to get my associate's degree. Then UVM to get my bachelor's degree. I'm not sure if I'll go any longer or what I'll be studying. With all these options at my age at this point, I can only predict that what will happen in my near future. In 2, 4, or even 20 years, I can predict that with the skills that I have and the lessons I will acquire in my near future, I will be able to do anything that life throws at me. I'm very thankful for all my teachers who have taught me lifelong skills at City School, as well as my classmates and friends who have helped me along the way in Team USA. I will forever be thankful for the support and teamwork that I've gotten in the last 2 years. Thank you.
Let's move on to Kobe. Who's Kobe Hawkins?
Last year, the job that I wanted to have was to be a wrestler. Although that is still my dream job, tonight I will be talking about a couple of other careers that I think I am better suited for, both of which are in the video game industry. Hi, my name is Kobe Hawkins and this is my PLP. Last year when I was working on this writing project, I was constantly told by both students and teachers alike that a job in wrestling wasn't one that many people were successful in, and that I should at least have a backup plan in case I need to potentially pursue other things. Even though I did end that year at my wrestling PLP finish, I did understand what they meant when I started working on it again this year. The job is hard and requires a lot of practice and strength. So instead of working on that this year, I decided, why don't I work on the job that I've always wanted to do since I was 7 or 8. This job is indeed a video game designer. Now I may still be questioning about my choice, but I feel this job would just be perfect for me. As a person who's been surrounded by video games ever since he was born, I know a good deal more about it than the majority of people here. Although I would be fine picking any other job in that field, I'm someone who can write a good deal when I want to. So being a story writer for any game might be a good choice as well. Working in the field of the video game industry would require a bachelor's degree in English and creative writing. In order to get this degree, I am thinking I'll go to Champlain College in Burlington. I'll spend my 4 years there and get the degree I want. Then get into the profession through connections I make at college and through online gaming, and through persistence and hard work. From there on in, my life will be a crossroad of choices. I could end up getting the job I want, or I could end up getting a different job. Who knows what happens because the choices are endless. In the end, a career as a writer is where I think I'm going to find myself. Even though none of this is really set in stone, if I work hard enough and never give up on my goals, I can make it. With becoming a writer, there are also alternatives to just story writing. For example, if this career does not work out for me, I can always expand to journalism and maybe even to writing stories for blockbuster movies. Writing is something I've been doing for many years. Even when I haven't been writing stories, I've been making them up for as long as I can remember. I would go on the internet and talk to people about stories we can make up for a series. What ifs? Like if our own characters could be in those worlds and what it could be like, or certain scenarios that you're putting the characters into and how that would affect them. I've always had a talent for this, and I still write stories every day. Making money off doing this would obviously be respectful and fulfilling. Furthermore, I feel the stories I write could end up being big if I want them to be. As someone who can write about 700 words in 10 minutes, I feel like I have a gift and talent for this. I have been at City School for 9 years, ever since preschool. City School has been very good to me throughout my life. It has not failed in teaching me what I need to know. Though mostly my best advancements have been made this year and last year in Team USA. Team USA helped me in many areas that I wasn't so good at. The biggest advancement about being public speaking. Before Team USA, I was one of the worst public speakers. Now, in my opinion, I've gotten much better at it, and I think it'll help me whenever. For example, in job interviews, if you look back bad for even a second, it won't help you at all. That's where my work of public speaking comes in. I'll be able to talk the interviewer's ear off and do it well. Team USA has also taught me how to write better via language arts and 21st century. My writing is now so good and to the point, and because of my time there, I now know that writing is what I want to do in my professional life. And that's all thanks to Team USA. If I wasn't here, who knows where I'd be right now. If you try your hardest at something and be the very best you can be, even an impossible dream can become possible, and you can succeed at everything. Thank you.
So, Isabel's an aunt.
Indecision is something that plagues people their whole life. Indecision is not always a bad thing. In fact, sometimes it's better than the opposite of leaping before one looks. Indecision, in my instance, is actually acceptable, considering that good decisions are made based on facts, and the facts and circumstances in a teenage girl's lives change rapidly, sometimes weekly, daily, or even hourly. It might be a good idea to move slowly. My name's Isabel Zamianek, and I'm a teenage girl. The one thing I do know about my future is that when I grow up, I want to be happy. What that will look like, again, I'm not so sure. When first asked this question last year, I found this great quote from John Lennon that described exactly how I feel. It says, "When I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school and they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment. and I told them they didn't understand life. So many times as a child, you hear the question, what do you want to do when you grow up? And some kids have the answers right then and there. They want to be a writer, a singer, an engineer, or whatever else they might aspire to do. There are always those of us who don't know what we want to do with our lives just yet. We can feel left out and confused when the people around us know where they want to be in 10 years. So instead of focusing on what I want to be when I grow up, I focus on how I want to feel. The answer I always come up with is I want to be happy and loved. When I make goals and do decide what I want to be, I'll keep the thought of being happy at the front of my mind. Happy is a very relative term. What I mean by happy is when I can go home every day smiling. Not every day has to be perfect or even good, but I will be doing what I love. I don't know what I want to do, but Team USA has helped me immensely by reinforcing the idea that I do not need to prepare for a specific career. They have taught me to live a life and acquire skills to keep as many doors open as possible. Team USA has helped me realize that a plan you think is set in stone will almost always change. So instead of having a plan for what's going to happen in the future, I have a goal and a feeling I want to achieve in my life. So let me inventory my skills. I'm good at public speaking and getting my point across. When I have something to say, I know how I'm going to say it and when it will be pertinent to the conversation. And when I'm passionate about something, you'll be able to tell. I'm good at academics. School has always come naturally to me. Math is harder this year, and I hope high school math will continue to challenge me to improve. Reading is one of my favorite things to do. Since the 3rd grade, I have been reading whenever I have spare time. And in turn, I have picked up writing skills that can be very useful in my future. Something that comes with being a nerd is having organizational skills. I don't color code my notes or anything, but I know how to take notes so they're written in legible handwriting, and I can keep track of my papers. My papers may look like a mess, but I know where all my papers are and what classes I need them for. I have so many options on the table. My biggest problem is indecision and not knowing what to do with my skills. My name's Isabel Zemianic, and I am an indecisive teenage girl. So I'm going to keep as many doors open as possible so I can have a bright, happy future. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce Paige Jacobs.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to our PLP night. I'm Paige Jaycox, an 8th grader at Team USA, St. Elmo's City School. Like most kids my age, I'm suffering from the malady called indecision. I'm having a hard time deciding what I want to be when I grow up. I even struggle with short-term decisions like what TV show I'm going to watch when I get home tonight. Luckily, my decision had been made easier. I did not have to make this decision because I have the hopper. I can record like 200 shows. But that certainly doesn't help me decide my long-term future. But I believe in tackling one problem at a time. Okay, now about the future. I've actually spent some time on that. I know that I need a career that matches my skills. I know that the career must pay something decent. And I know that I want to be happy doing this job since a good part of my life will be spent performing it. So let me start by sharing my skill set. I'm organized despite what my mom thinks. I see logic in performing certain things in a certain order. I understand that there's a sequence to success. I am a people person. I enjoy being with people and making them better. I enjoy seeing other people laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. Making people happy makes me happy. I am a leader. I know how to get things done. I understand that conflict is a part of life, and in life, I understand that in conflict, we should strive for win and win resolutions because they represent the best opportunities to move forward. I'm self-motivated. I understand that some point in my life, sooner than later, my parents will not be around to motivate me to get things done. Medical school might be very complicated and I might not have enough confidence to push through myself, but with being myself, I tend to push through things when I'm determined. That point in my life will be called growing up, and sooner than later, it's happening soon. So part 2 of the process, what careers match my skill set? I have thought about physical therapist, teacher, bookie, or nurse. Considering the necessary education and the day-to-day work tasks, I have totally kind of settled on nurse. The job requires me to get good grades in high school and then get accepted into a high-quality nursing school. This job requires a 4-year degree since I want to be an RN. Aspiring RNs may earn a diploma, an associate degree in nursing, ADN, or a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing, BSN. The job gives me more money and a much greater choice of nursing areas. I feel that this job meets my skill set and is something that also would make me happy every day. I understand that this is a challenge, but I'm confident that I can do it and do it well. City School, and especially Team USA, has given me the confidence to tackle this task, the academic skills to make it happen, and the public speaking skills to tell you about it here tonight. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Ben Metzger.
About a year and a half ago, I was told in an extracurricular class called Codesmiths to draw a background for a game I was making. I thought, well, this is going to be terrible. Despite whether it was good or bad, I had to do it. I realized after drawing it that it was actually pretty good and kind of fun. And that's how I discovered my love of drawing. Hello, my name is Ben Kmetster, and I'm here to tell you what I want my future career to be. As I began to draw more and more pictures, I asked myself, can I make this a job or a possible career? As I did some research, I found that graphic design was exactly what I wanted. Shortly after this, I went on a field trip with a group of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to Champlain College for a program called Roots, or Reaching Out on Technology and Science. This was how I chose the college that I would like to go to, Champlain College, at least for now. The cost of a bachelor's degree in graphic designs at Champlain College is about $40,000 a year, which may sound like a lot, but it's actually a small price to pay for a job or career that I will learn to love. Just a fun fact, Champlain College was named the #1 most innovative college in all of America. If that's not impressive, I don't know what is. I've been in city school since 5th grade, and I've had my ups and downs since I've arrived here. And if it wasn't for the constant support of USA in that Codesmiths class, I don't think I'd be here today. I think my future will be very bright. I plan to achieve all my dreams. Graduate high school, go to Champlain College and become a graphic designer. I'd like to thank my parents and my teachers and my friends' support. Thank you for your time. I would now like to introduce Ty Lewis.
Hello, my name is Kyle. Today I'm required to give a speech on what I want to be when I'm older and what I have achieved in school. My teachers asked me what I want to be when I'm older. In 4th grade, I want to be an artist, 5th grade, a boxer, 6th grade, a cook, and in 7th grade, I want to work at Amazon. But now that I'm in 8th grade, teachers want a real answer. Well, here's one, who knows? Now isn't the time for thinking about what you want to be in the future. Now is the time to make mistakes and learn from your mistakes. When I'm in school, I make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. School helped me with many skills. Some I did not know I had. Some of the skills I gained in school are math, reading, language, and history. Skill I've the most strength in is math. In math, I have a few problems, but it does not stop me from doing the best work I can do. In Team USA, we have conflicts, debates, and elections. Have a I had learned a lot from them and school. So back to the question, what do you want to be when you're older? I'd answer that question with, who knows, but these skills I've learned from being in school will help me know what I want to be in the future. Thank you.
Caleb Smith.
I've liked being outside since I was very little. As I got older, I still have to go outside, shoot some hoops, play a game of football, or go up to Hardeck with my friends and go mountain biking. I've also had a passion for hunting and fishing. I love hunting ducks and geese. Hello, my name is Caleb Smith, and I want to be a waterfowl biologist. My passion for hunting waterfowl began when I was little. My dad took me hunting with my uncle. I was too young to have a gun, so I got to sit next to my dad in the blind. When they shot, I was so excited. I was ready to run out and get the birds they had shot, but my dad reminded me it was the dog's job. I still had a lot of fun, but that's what started my passion for waterfowl hunting. Now that I'm older, I can have a gun and hunt, and I realize that hunting is helpful to the environment and that we have to preserve the habitat to protect the animals. A waterfowl biologist protects or makes habitat for waterfowl. They can also do any things like ban ducks and geese for tracking purposes. I've been goose banding, and it's a really fun job. It takes several skills to do this. Tracking ducks and geese is important because it allows us to better understand the migration patterns. Roughly 90,000 bans are reported each year. They use this information to adjust hunting regulations and to regulate state and federal land use. There are 4 major flyways: the Atlantic, Mississippi, Central, and Pacific flyways. These are routes that the birds take to travel during their migration. I want to track the birds in the Atlantic flyway. Waterfowl biologists also have to go out in the spring and build wood duck boxes. A wood duck is a type of duck that nests in holes in trees. So a wood duck box is like a birdhouse with a 4-inch diameter hole in the front where the duck can get in, make the nest, and lay eggs. They also have to drive out in the summer to a spot and listen for woodcock. This means that the bird calls out and they have to write down how many calls they hear. Some skills that are required for the job are public speaking and leadership skills, because I would have to teach in classrooms. The best way to save the environment is to spread the word by teaching directly to student and adult groups. To do this task, you must be logical, organized, and ready to work. You cannot just stop and have someone else do it for you. You need to be the guy that gets the job done and to get the paycheck. Some skills I have acquired at City School are my public speaking skills and my leadership skills. These skills are very necessary for the job because you must be able to communicate with coworkers. You have to be able to lead a group of people when you are doing something in the field. I've been fortunate to have many opportunities to learn about food webs and environmental issues. As well, I was chair of the Environmental Corporation this year in Team USA, and I had worked on a number of real projects, including a greenhouse that is in progress, a vertical garden that will be put outside very soon. I've also helped out with a police visit. The police visit is where the police come in to talk to 1st to 3rd graders to answer questions to show that they aren't the bad guys that take people to jail. I've also been a part of a naturalization ceremony. These are all experiences that City School of Team USA has provided me. It is the reason that I can feel that I can get the job and do it well. Although I'm no longer common, I guess I'm old-fashioned. When I grow up, I want to be a waterfowl biologist, just like my dad. Thank you. Next up is Joe Walsh.
I have no idea where I'm going to be in 4 years. I have no idea who I will be, what I will be, or even where I will be. It's just amazing to me that people can exactly pinpoint what job they want at this age. Sure, I have an idea, but it's not like I know all of the exact details. It's much better to be flexible with change than to have an exact plan, which is why throughout my life I have consistently changed what I want to be every single year. In 5th grade, I knew I was going to be a musician. In 6th grade, I knew I was going to be a film director. In 7th, I knew I was going to go into graphic design. And this year, I know I'm going to go into engineering. I'm sure that once I learn more and more about life, my opinion about what I want to be will change drastically again and again. That's what I'm trying to say with this speech. No matter what I say I want to be, I don't have a clue. Engineering specifically is interesting to me right now because it involves building things, problem solving, and working with my hands. It's a good compromise of my previous interest before, and having compromise is really important to me. Again, this is probably not going to be the job I end up doing, but engineering seems like the best job for now. I think that it'll also give me a good base for other careers too. As long as I have those 4 things in a career, I'm sure I'll be happy with it. I've been here at City School nearly all my life, and along the way I've met a lot of people. Whether friends, teachers, or peers, everyone I've met helped me get to where I am today. I've had a pretty close group of friends here who have stuck with me since 4th grade, and I think we've all had some pretty good times here at Saks. Over the years, we've accumulated some interesting stories, from destroying a locker to just screwing around at lunch. I can't say that the experiences I've gotten here have made me a worse person overall. Everything and everybody has taught me a lesson in class or out. City School has given me broader learning opportunities with the amazing community system and opportunities to use technology at a young age. I'm sure the communication skills that I learned here will put me ahead of everyone else up at BFA.
Thank you.
It's hard for me to talk about what life will be like in the future, because everything changes. The pictures of my friends and I 4 years ago are unrecognizable of us now. My interests 4 years ago were completely different, and the type of person I was 4 years ago has completely changed. I think that in 4 years, life has changed a lot for me and gotten a lot better. Let's hope the next couple of years in high school are the same. I've had a good run here at City School. This is Joe Welsh signing off. Thank you. Next up will be David Weinstein.
When I was a kid, I liked one thing, the television. Most of my childhood memories were of watching the VCR tapes we had, and for that period of my life, it was my favorite thing to do. One day, however, something new happened. My dad hooked up a computer and said I could use it. This was very exciting for me because I could now interact with the characters that I loved. One of my earliest memories is me staring at the screen, thinking I want to do this. Hello, my name is David Weinstein, and I want to work with computers. Lately, I've been considering many jobs that have to do with computers, and I've narrowed it down to a few. The jobs I'm looking at currently are information security analyst, software designer, and possibly an IT manager. In past months, there have been major security breaches for companies big and small, all around the world. Some of the largest have been with corporations such as Target, Sony, and JP Morgan, which have altered many lives, mostly for the worst. What an information security analyst does is create defenses for the databases of a company, government, or organization, and protect the database from attacks. A software designer is a bit more laid back, but still an important job to have in society. A software designer creates or changes programs for nearly any use on a computer. From parental control software to online games, software designers create everything that we are able to use. An IT manager is a profession which does a very different job than the others that I've been thinking about. An IT manager coordinates events, large-scale operations, and projects, and makes sure everything runs well. Unfortunately, this job has one problem. It doesn't use computers much, which is what I want in my job more than anything else. Before I even get to any of these jobs, however, I will need the education they require, which includes college, which requires huge amounts of money. I have a solution to at least part of the high price tag, Germany. Recently, Germany has completely taken away tuition costs for its higher education, and not only for native Germans either, which means the only thing that I have to pay is room and board. Over the years, I have accumulated skills that will help in my future career. Skills such as public speaking and creative writing will most definitely help throughout my life. There's one specific set of skills, however, that promises to help me more than any other, which I need to honor as such. My time in Codesmiths has set me up for the jobs that I want in multiple ways. It has shown me that making software is almost never easy, that the hardest thing to make is the graphics, and always the graphics, and that when someone recreates the same game for every year for 3 years, it gets to the point of head-exploding frustration. There have been people and organizations that have helped me along the way that I could not be here without. First off, the phenomenal teachers that I've had, past and present. I would still probably be in 3rd grade without you. To everyone who's taught me what I need to do to continue my goals, I thank you. And to my parents, who've helped me every step of the way, no matter how bad your puns are, I thank you. From the moment I first used a computer, to the near past, with me typing out words on the screen, to the present, saying these words to you, one sentence has resounded through my mind. I want to do this. My name is David Weinstein, and I want to work with computers. Thank you. Our next speaker will be Austin Adams.
Normally, it's a human instinct to run away from danger. The evolution of this reflex has kept many people alive. However, I want to do the opposite. I want to be that sort of person that runs towards the danger and the chaos. And in doing so, I'll save other people's lives. I want to be a United States Marine. When I get older, I want to be a Marine and then a police officer here in St. Albans, Vermont. The reason I want to do both of these jobs is because I like to help people out. Also, being a branch of the military has been in my family. My brother is a Marine, my grandfather was a Marine, and my cousin was a Marine, and is now a police officer right here in our beloved St. Albans, Vermont. My favorite saying that my brother told me is, once a Marine, always a Marine, no matter what happens. To me, being a Marine is both fulfilling and rewarding. It's a way of paying back all the brave veterans who have gone before us to both make and keep this country free. Many believe that U.S. Marine Corps is the toughest of all the branches of the military. While I respect all the men and women who have served in any branch, be it Army, Navy, Air Force, or Coast Guard, my heart is set on the U.S. Marine Corps. Before I join, I have to pass a mental test, a physical test, and a bunch of other tests. If I pass, I have to train for 13 weeks, followed by 3 more weeks of Marine combat training at a boot camp. The first phase of becoming a recruit, you have to go to MCRD, Marine Corps Recruitment Department Training Camp, for the physical test. It's a day-to-day test, which means that you would test for 1 day and then do it again the next day. And they keep doing this for the first phase. This test has pull-ups, flexed arm hang, abdominal crunches, and a 3-mile run. For the pull-ups test, you have to do at least 3 of them before you pass. For the crunches, you have to do 50 before you pass. For the last test, you have to do a 3-mile run within or at 33 minutes, no longer, or you will not pass the test. This should be easy if I work out for a little bit. My name is Austin Adams, and I want to be a United States Marine. The last student speaker tonight will be Jacob Benler.
Jacob, we do have Kelsey left after you.
I am a baseball player. Any decision that is made for my future will be influenced because of my passion for the game. About 1 year ago in February of 2015, during a winter clinic, I injured my elbow while pitching. After the injury, I didn't have the strength in my elbow to throw a baseball much more than about 15 feet. After being down emotionally and physically, it was decided to solve the problem. For the next year, I tried everything from physical therapy with hand-arm specialists to chiropractors to orthopedists and neurologists, all in the sports medicine departments. While visiting all of these professionals, I discovered that I had an interest in the medical field. Deep down, the only field that truly has my heart is still a baseball field. How can I combine baseball with medicine? After contemplating my options, I realized that athletic training would be perfect. Athletic trainers are sideline doctors that travel with their team and are prepared for some of the most grueling sports injuries. To become an athletic trainer, I would need a master's degree from an accredited athletic training program and then pass the test administered from the Board of Certification. After high school at BFA, I will be going to college. However, I am not sure which college this will be. The college would have to offer an athletic training program, which includes schools such as Texas A&M University, University of North Carolina, Charlotte, and University of Oregon, just to name a few of the public and private colleges out there. After college, my hope is that I will be employed by my favorite team, the New York Yankees. This is a life that I'm excited to live. I love to explore and travel around to new places. Traveling through a career involving baseball will make it even better. Though there are many advantages to traveling so much, it will also have its tolls. It will be difficult to have a family and troublesome to have a place to call home. City School has been a great help to me over the past 3 years, though my biggest help has come from Team USA. Team USA has taught me many things from math to operating corporations smoothly. My school job as CEO of the financial corporation has taught me a lot about how economies can be efficiently run, how to be a leader instead of a boss, and how to work with other individuals and groups to complete tasks such as market day and Friday concert. My Team USA superheroes have taught me professional skills such as public speaking and presenting, watching presentations in a respectful and intelligent way, making contacts, complex things like working with other groups using nothing but technology, and things as simple as a handshake can go very far. The superheroes have also helped my learning by bringing in speakers to do the teaching for them. These public speakers are what make Team USA special. I have learned about many new possible careers, the payoff of hard work, and how the real world works, and how the City of St. Albans is operated. I am very grateful to City School, and especially Team USA, for the help shaping my future. Whether it's a jaw-breaking fastball or a cleat to the knee, a pitcher throwing too hard for his arm, or the left fielder introducing himself to a wall. A second baseman breaking his leg from an aggressive slide, or an umpire getting a bat to the face. A third baseman seeing how hot the hot corner can be, or a catcher catching it low with a slider. My duty as an athletic trainer is to care for all of these injuries and keep my baseball team injury-free and on track to a winning season. Spending a career traveling with the sports team and tending to injuries will never become boring. I'm still a kid, and I still have time to grow towards a career. Right now, nothing is set in stone. I will continue to love baseball and work towards an honest career. My name is Jacob Benwer, and this is a plan for my future. I'd like to introduce Kelsey Cronin.
I have many interests right now, but I don't really know what I want to be when I grow up. I love working with pets and acting. I love writing and drawing. I also love singing and dancing. My name is Kelsey Cronin, and I'm an 8th grader in City School, and next year I'm going to be a fighter. I'm excited to begin preparing for my adult life, even if I'm not sure what I will be when I grow up. I know that it will be something that I enjoy, because if your job is fun, you never actually really go to work. Some of the things that I might want to be when I grow up is be a veterinarian, actor, singer, writer, artist, or dancer. All these professions require different skills that I have learned here at City School and during my life with my family and friends. City School helped me prepare for these professions with drama class and chorus. Drama class helped me get better at acting, dancing, and chorus helped me get better at singing. I've been in drama class for 2 years now, and this is my 3rd year. Chorus was a class I took for specials along with drama. Chorus helped me with my singing and teach me how to sing higher and louder. I am sometimes shy, however, I try to get through it and do my best. When I'm comfortable with the task and confident in my skills and with people I enjoy, I can be very outgoing. This year in morning meeting, I've proved that to myself and my team. I am pleased even if I do not make a living in these fields. I will enjoy them on an amateur level. I learned how to draw because of my friends and family. My friends love drawing, so I got into expressing myself in shapes and forms. To me, drawing is like singing with a paper and pencil. Again, if this is not a career, it can still be a passionate pastime. So those are my loves. They are obviously all forms of art. I feel confident that I can make a living in this field. My other choice, as as mentioned, is being a veterinarian. I am interested in animals and helping them. The logical choice would be a veterinarian. I understand that requires a lot of schooling, and it involves college, medical school, and veterinarian training. I can tolerate all the schooling because I'm interested in the topic. As I prepare for my future, I know that I have to work hard and get good grades. I'm lucky that I have a wide variety of interests.
As a kid, we think every day's a struggle, waking up, finding clothes, and then there's school. But a true struggle would be growing up and not having any idea where our life is going. Therefore, over the past year, the superheroes always ask the same question: what do we want to be when we grow up? Thanks to Team USA, I now have an idea where my life could go. Everybody starts out thinking, I want to be an astronaut, a firefighter, and everything else. Some even say a cop. I started thinking more about that. Some days I hear sirens go past my house, and every time I wonder what it would like to be in that car. When I was young, I used to think about being a cop too. It's safe to say I want to be a police officer. However, sometimes I think I'd rather do something more safe, like a magazine writer. I love writing about interesting things like human stories or the latest clothes. I could write a whole movie if I wanted to. Then again, when I took a career test online, it said I would be most interested in law and public safety. The career I wanted to go for pays $78,000 a year. So I have two possibilities for my work. Both of my dream jobs will require me to gain skills in high school and probably graduate college with an associate's or a bachelor's degree. After college, I plan on moving somewhere not too dangerous but not too boring. My whole life I thought I wanted to be a cop, and now I'm considering writing too. I also thought it would be too hard for me to get there. I want to thank City School for pushing me to reach my goal, and my friends to help me motivate me, and my teachers to back me up too. People at this school make me consider my life and future. I will work hard at trying to accomplish my dream. My name is Isaiah Tebow. Thank you.
Editor speak, I know what to write about. Our minds, thoughts, and bodies change as life's go on. So coming up with a career is like guessing the future. Hi, my name is Ryan, and I want to become an engineer. Before I get into talking about myself, I would like to thank my teachers for the school year and great feedback. City School has helped me with public speaking, mathematics, hands-on learning, and much more. When I leave City School and go to high school, I plan to play football. Football takes a lot of work, not just physically but academically. When I was younger, I dreamed of becoming the New England Patriots starting quarterback. But as I grew older, I found out that their career was very unlikely. I enjoy using my hands, being outside, and using math. I don't know what college I'm going to go to, but it will have to have a good engineering program. Engineers need at least a bachelor's degree, and some have masters. Engineering is one of the most exciting and potentially lucrative professional paths a young person can choose. However, it is also highly demanding in terms of gaining the skills and knowledge required to get a foothold in the industry. Some of the skills I will need is the ability to work on a team, communication, desire to learn, and leadership skills. My career is not set in stone, but this career catches my eye. To pursue this career, I will need to join math and science classes in high school. I will try hardest and give it my all, because you're never going to get anywhere in life if you don't try. I would like to end off with a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But whatever you have to keep moving forward. Thank you.
Ready.
Hi, my name is Lincoln Blodgett. If I were giving a speech to you last year, to be honest, I might not even have a speech to give. In 7th grade, I exceeded in getting in trouble, in getting on people's nerves. I couldn't sit through a class without disrupting the teacher and students. Even my friends were mad at me a lot in my 7th grade year. Learning and planning my future was low on my priority list. Actually, last year, I didn't finish my PLP speech, so I wouldn't even been up here. So what happened? My parents came up with a plan to turn me around. My dad promised me a 4-wheeler if I improved in my 8th grade year. It worked. I am an outdoorsy, hands-on person, and the promise of a 4-wheeler to play with
motivated me to change. I also think I just matured. I have always wanted a four-wheeler. Having a four-wheeler will help me in the future. If it breaks, I will be able to fix it. And that is what the tech class does at BFA. The first class, you work on four-wheelers, snowmobiles, three-wheelers, and jet skis. I really think having a four-wheeler will help me become a mechanic when I get older. I am a physical, outdoorsy, and hands-on person. My parents often fight with me to come inside. I love sports. I also really enjoy making things and solving problems on my own. My parents were smart enough to capitalize on some of my strengths and passions to get me motivated to do the other things I need to do. Now, I will try to motivate myself to the reward will be me getting a job that I want. The job I want to get to is a car mechanic or an auto technician. I would also consider being a carpenter. While these jobs seem different, they actually have a lot of similarities. Both of these jobs or careers could be labeled as hands-on, hometown trade jobs. Both of these require physical work and both hold a promise of working for someone or owning your own business. I like to work with my hands and I consider myself being a problem solver. I believe that both of these jobs will allow me to work hard, enjoy my job, and sleep well at the end of the day. I understand that both of these careers are needed almost anywhere in the country. I'd probably look back in moving to my birthplace, Alaska, New York. It was a great place to live and a great place to play, including riding four-wheelers and of course fishing on the Salmon River. Of the two, automotive technician seems to be my first choice. I enjoy working on engines and enjoy the challenge presented by new computer runs, big horsepower, and fuel injector engines. To succeed this career, I expect to take advantage of the great automotive program in the Northwest Technical Center. I think getting a great hands-on start on the career I want I can get a great head start on my career and actual field experience. From there, I would attend either a training school or go to VTC. They have a great program and have a great job placement record. City School has been a good experience for me. I could have transferred to town school last year, but I really wanted to stay at City School thanks to the kindness of the principal and the school board. To them, I say thank you. You helped me more than I could ever think of. Team USA was a good place for me to grow. They helped me and my parents helped me. I am confident that it was myself, that made the decision of finally growing up and focus on my life. I believe that I will succeed. I have the skills. Thank you for listening. I am Lincoln Blodgett and I own Blodgett's Auto Shop.
Okay, you're on.
All my life I have been asked what I want to be when I get older. When I get older, I want to be a surgical nurse. I've always wanted to be a nurse, but I think I want to be a surgical nurse. The reason I want to join this profession is because it makes me happy and when I help people. And I have always wanted to operate on someone I think it is amazing how modern medical can fix people throughout surgery. Grey's Anatomy has inspired me. There are 3 types of surgical nurses, and I have not decided which one I want to specialize in. One of the qualities you need to be a surgical. One of the qualities you need to be a surgical nurse is being professional. Nurses need to do the best they can do. Don't give up on the patient, even when the patient is getting nervous. You still have to pretend like you can give them the best care, even if you can't. I would at least have a bachelor's degree to become a nurse. I would also need to obtain surgical nursing. City school has helped me prepare me for this career because I took reading, writing, math, and the teachers supported me while I was learning. The teachers have taught me how to be respectful while there is someone talking in front of the room. It has also given me the experience to bond with other people and make new friends. Thank you. My name is Destiny Holmes.
I'm an enthusiastic and self-guided learner. So what kind of job could these skills get me? Well, almost any job I want. So the next question I should ask might be, what job can I do? And most importantly, what career would bring me the most joy in life? I can only choose a career in an area that I know about. Like most teenage girls, I have watched Grey's Anatomy. Yet I am realistic enough to know that this show is not real and does not give a realistic picture of any health career. And all doctors do not look like they do on that show, unfortunately. Yes, I want to be in the medical field, but I learned about it from a real person. I have chosen my career based on what I have experienced through my mom. Like her, I want to be in the field of medicine, yet I want to take it up a notch and be a surgeon. I think that I would be a good surgeon because surgeons do a lot of things that I am good at. I am organized and a very good public speaker. I am self-directed, patient, and I pay attention to details. I have good fine motor skills and can concentrate for long periods of time. I am a good learner and I can be a good teacher. Hello, I am Michaela Daigle, and when I'm older, I want to be a general surgeon. To become a general surgeon, I first need to study to become a medical doctor by either earning a post-baccalaureate medical degree or doctor of osteopathic medicine degree. This road begins at the undergraduate level, where I'll have to take the necessary courses needed for admission to medical school. Completing medical school, which includes clinical rotations, can qualify me for licensure. I can earn board certification after obtaining specific experience in general surgery through 1 or more residencies. Before becoming a general surgeon, I will have to follow a residency that takes 5 to 6 years to complete. Then I will be a full-time resident and I will get to pick a specialty supervision of doctors and surgeons. I will learn preoperative and postoperative care, perform complex surgical techniques, collaborate as part of a surgical team, and develop leadership skills. Middle school is important because I am laying the foundation in subjects like math, science, reading, and writing, and forming study habits. Developing certain skills like confidence, communication, teamwork, leadership, negotiation, problem solving, organization, and motivation now will make it easier for me to adjust to the challenges of high school and later college and will lead me to more options. Planning my career now will help me later by knowing what classes I will need to take in high school and college and what knowledge I will need to accomplish what I need to do in order to be able to get where I need to go. Education is often the best tool for creating wealth and happiness. Education can help your long-term economic prospects and help you obtain and keep a career in the future. Out of high school, I want to go to Mayo Medical School. Mayo Medical School is a research institution and medical school which is part of the Mayo Clinic. It grants degrees in medicine and is accredited by the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools. They have a very strong program for people like me wanting to get a good job that requires knowledge in medicine and science. My My journey to success will be very long and hard, but if I believe in myself, I can accomplish anything. Thank you.